Share screen. Sure. And play. There we go. All right. Thanks for joining us today, everyone. Today, if you're watching it, on the exact day, it's Tuesday, the what, 13th?
Yep.
Geez, almost halfway through the month already. Today, and going on with our training, one step at a time. We have listings and things you could do to impress your sellers. So we're going to jump right into it. And Deb, go ahead.
You want to make sure that you have effective communication. So this is also going along with what we've been talking about the last couple weeks. So if you haven't watched those, you can go back and watch. And then this is like the next step of things that you want to do. Oh, I see that kind of messed up a
Yeah,
little right now.
sometimes
The N is
that,
on
that
the bottom
that
row.
might have been me because I was clicking through and I might have
Oh,
something. Who knows? Yeah.
okay, well, that's all right. We want to communicate
Mhm.
effectively, right? So you want to make sure you're keeping your seller informed in the changes in the market. Also, what is happening with showings if they get feedback. Respond promptly to their texts and calls and emails, and make sure you're setting them up in the golden ruler, those of you who are with us, because that is a great ally to you. It's going to show them everything that's happening on the internet with their listing. So if you do need to make some changes, you're going to use that. But you want to make sure that you're communicating with the sellers. The number one complaint from the sellers these days is the listing agent has ghosted me. Maybe that's happened and maybe it's not. It's all perception, I feel. But as long as you're continuously telling them things that are going on, even if nothing is, well, we didn't have any showings today, but it's Friday morning and I promised I would call you every Friday, right?
Exactly. Right. If you have to, I always say if you don't do that like consistently, like the same day each week, or you don't give up maybe in the morning or at the end of the day, say, hey, at the end of every day, I'll send you a text saying if it's something short that was an update for the day, or call you at the, or, text you and then we call you, explain what's going on. If they have to call you and between the last time you talked to them and you're filling them in on a whole bunch of stuff and they called you first, you kind of lost a little bit, I say, because then it makes them feel like, wow, I have to keep on them because there's obviously things happening. And if I don't call them, then they're not going to call me. So a lot of agents sometimes forget that or don't think about that. They just wait to the sellers to call them and then give them an update. They said if you again, you should be every time something's new is happening, it's a way every little thing shows them that you're on top of it. So,
Yes.
no matter what it is, and it's kind of sounds funny to say it this way, but like you're an attorney. Like if you an attorney usually keeps track of their time. They go, spent 5 minutes doing this and 20 minutes doing that because they're charging you per hour. But in real estate, sometimes we don't tell them, oh wait, I was on today and I was going through some, all these no offer yet showings today. I reached out to the buyer's agents on these showings, see if there's any interest. Boom, send them a text or an email or remind them. So showing that you're doing something every day, and you definitely have to do that if you ever get to the point, and hopefully it never happens to you, but you have an expired listing someday, they're going to go back and think about all the times you talked to them or communicated with them. They know they didn't sell their house, but you have to show them you were working on it a lot between the time you listed it and the time it's expired. So things to
Yes.
think about.
Yeah. If the
Next.
property's not selling, you want to communicate with market trends. So use your market trends to help you along the way, right? Supply versus demand for price adjustments. What is happening in the market economy? Are there new businesses that are coming into play? That's going to help uh, know that buyers are going to be looking in that particular area for homes. All of this stuff you can find on your MLS and also in your RPR. There's different places you can find these things. Interest rates and home affordability. Pay attention to what the bankers are sending you. Don't pay attention to the media, please. Listen to your professionals. If you have not connected with different bankers, I suggest that you do because each one is going to send you their own program. So when their program changes, you'll know what's happening. Um, And knowing that stuff is also going to help you be able to talk to your sellers as well as buyers as well. But it's helping. Well, yep, but the interest rates didn't change, so we're still in the same place that we were last month. So everything should be just fine. We just have to make sure that we have it priced accordingly. We're in season now. The weather is changing. People are out there. School's going to be getting let out here shortly, and people will be interested in moving at that time.
Exactly.
You want to suggest ways for their homes to stand out if it's not selling, or even if you're doing your walkthrough in the very beginning. Um, oh, well, I'm going to remodel the kitchen and rip out the bathroom and change the flooring and stuff. Don't do that. Let
Did
the
I go too
buyer do
fast?
it. Yeah, because you never know what the buyer's thought process is. Maybe you put something in there that they didn't like and then they're going to rip it out. So why bother? Go with what you have. If you want to make a subtle change, paint everything a neutral color, because then it's a blank palette and people can see what they want, right? Also, something that is I do suggest is get the floors professionally done if you can't do them, or if the seller can't do them, right? You can hire somebody to come in and steam clean the carpets, or even wash and wax the hardwoods and such like that. Little things like that, as long as it looks clean and neat when people are walking through, they're going to have their own ideas of how they want the house to look when they buy it anyway. Right. So the
Right.
buyer's first impression is crucial, though. So make sure you're telling your sellers, okay, we're going to be active as of tomorrow. So make sure the beds are made and the dishes are done and yada, 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 so that you never know when you're going to have a listing showing request for people to come through. So you want the house to be show ready when they do so. Any other suggestions
Yeah,
on that?
just if it's take out as much personal stuff and pictures as you can. Again, it's not as important in when it's a seller's market, but when it's a even market or buyer's market, there's two houses next to each other. It's hard, consciously or unconsciously, for buyers to picture themselves in a house with every wall is plastered with family photos. And so make the decorative neutral. What I mean by neutral doesn't have to be new, you don't have to take off every picture and buy new pictures, but you got to take down some of the family. Sometimes some houses, everybody is, obviously different ways of decorating their house, but sometimes they have every single wall, every single table has a picture of family, friends, which is wonderful for them, but not for new people. And they're trying to picture their own this house is going to be their home, and it's hard for them when there's so much personal stuff. So that's why we say declutter with stuff, because usually the clutter is personal stuff, and try to minimize the amount of pictures and things all over the place, because it grabs people's attention and they become nosy. They're not looking at
Yeah,
the
they're
house, they're looking
focusing
at
on
all the
you.
photos of who lived there and whatever. Gosh, I haven't been out on the street so and shown buyers myself in decades, but helped a lot. I help agents every day, but I do know that agents have to go through this. They go through it, and you're like, hey, just pay attention. Let's go next room, and they're looking through all the pictures and stuff. Let's go.
Yeah. If
You
you
know,
remember the 3Ds, depersonalize, declutter, and deep clean. Those are three things that you can tell your sellers. Um,
awesome.
Provide accurate pricing advice. So make sure you do a current CMA. So even if you did a CMA 6 weeks ago and they're now ready to list, update that CMA, because 6 weeks can make a big difference on things one way or another. Show the absorption rate. And if you can't remember how to do that, all you have to do is let me know. I do have some guides for you there. Regularly reassess what's happening in the market. If your listing is sitting, you've got to reassess on what's happening. Chances are someone has come in below you and gotten their house sold. Explain the potential damage of listing too high, which is kind of what I was just alluding to, right?
Mhm.
So, trying to guide them in the right direction. We don't really want to tell people a number, but you definitely want to guide them, because if they are listing too high, well, I just want to test the market and see what happens. You certainly can do that, but you're letting other people come in underneath you and sell
Exactly.
first.
Right. You're helping other people sell their houses.
Right. Yeah.
And I see that. I haven't seen it in a while, which is nice, but every once in a while, and Debbie probably have this too. Agents like, I'm having a problem selling my listing. And I go back and say, let's pull up what's been sold since you've listed it. And like three other houses sold in this price range lower than where they're at because they use our higher price listing to go a little bit below and they got the buyers.
Yep.
So you help other people sell their house faster when you do that.
Yep. Have strategic marketing plan. So you can use a calendar even if you want to, so that you know when you're going to be putting your sign installation in. What is your list date? When are you going to do an open house? Are you going to have a professional photographer come? When are you going to post your social media posts? All of this is stuff that you want to know and do and have on your calendar, but share with the sellers so they know what you're doing and they don't think that you just threw it up and left it alone. If you're doing all the things, share it with your seller because that shows that you are working for them.
I also tag them in the social media posts because
Oh, good job. Yeah.
it goes on their social media, especially well, let's say Facebook, and their sphere of people see what you're doing. So it's kind of if the people on their social media at least see what that you're working for them, right?
Yes.
Not a lot of sellers go onto their social media and go, "Hey, I'm selling my house." Some do. I see that. But so they forget that maybe they're the people in their sphere of social media might be interested in buying their house, So, and obviously they can take down the post, or if you want to ask them for permission to tag them, you know, so they don't get upset like I don't want anybody to know I'm selling, Watch
Yeah.
out
Or
for
they
that.
don't want them to see the inside of the house. Yeah.
That's true too.
So,
So you got
yeah.
to ask a little permission. You don't want to get on their bad side. So.
Yep. Be a masterful negotiator, right? So you want to make sure that you're advocating strategically for your seller. You want to provide confidence and be persuasive, not be aggressive. Be persuasive when you're talking to people and provide constructive guidance. A good negotiator is going to get what they want and also make the other person feel like they won as well. There's different ways to go through negotiation. You can follow stuff on Century 21 University. You can take any kind of continuing education classes through Hondros. I think McKissock also has one. I suggest everybody go through at least one kind of class like that, just because you never know what you're going to pick up in those classes as far as negotiating. But provide confidence, even if you don't feel confident, make sure you're taking a deep breath and swallowing before you actually speak about things. So you can lose your cool when you're not away from your client, right? So
Right.
if you're not on the phone or you're not on the video or you're not in person, keep your cool. Once you leave them, if you need to vent, that's when you're going to
That's
vent,
what it
but
is.
don't vent in front of your clients because they will remember that whether it's towards them or the other party. You don't want to create a bad atmosphere for everyone around.
Exactly. All right.
This is a video. This is a home buyer's guide that you can find on Brand Studio. All you got to do is click on it, you guys. Your information gets populated right in there. You can have this printed out at the printers. It's a trifold. It's a great thing that you can send to people, or you could give them to your doctor's office or your dentist or something and say, "Hey, can I throw a few of these your way?" Have them with you all the time. Maybe you want to hand them out to people. It is a great way to get your name out there and get your brand out there. I do want to let you know that if you're going through the brand studio and you're creating something like this, it's going to pull all your information from our back office. So make sure you're going into your profile and taking your address out. I noticed the first one I did had my personal address in there, and I'm like, nope, don't want people to know where I live. So make sure you take that out. But that's all you really have to do. It's created for you. All
Exactly.
you got to do is use it. Okay. I thought it was very pretty too. So
No,
they
this is
did a
perfect.
nice job.
This one's a very good one. I like it.
Yeah. And then another thing you can find on the Brand Studio is different things that you can post on your social. So I like things that are interactive, that are asking people, which do you like, this or that? Would you rather buy this house or that house? And it gives a couple different choices. And when you click on the learn more, or when someone clicks on the learn more in your post, it takes them to your Moxie website so they can look at all the houses that are for sale. They can ask you questions, sign up for your neighborhood news, and so on. If you're looking at this and you're like, I have no idea what Moxie website is, then you need to be contacting me
Right.
because we need to get that set up for you. Okay.
You got it. All right. Some more CE coming.
Yeah, we got all the way up to August now, thanks to Hash. Mike's got another couple ones actually this month. He's doing an in-person at the ACAR office on the 21st, doing the AI again.
Mhm.
On the 24th, we have 10 top secrets of working with buyers. That's always a good one. On June 5th, Hesh is going to talk about what it's like to be self-employed and getting a mortgage. Um, I think everybody should listen to that just because whether it resonates with you or not, if you are working with investors, they're usually self-employed. So they need to know, what they can do and what they can't do. The 5 pillars of solid pre-approval is what he's going to be talking about in July. And then he's got civil rights and fair housing in August. So
Ex
there's a few
ex
months worth of stuff there. As we get more, we will always let you know.
Yep. And that's it,
Yep,
Snatch.
that's it today.
Well, good. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. Remember, if you want to get on either my schedule or Deb's schedule, it's talk to the number two Tony.net or talk the number two deb.net
Yep.
and get on our schedule. We like to do that. So again, if you just have 5 minute, 2 to 5 minute questions, call us directly, at the office or my cell phone directly or text first if you can. But if you want to talk something a little bit more in detail, we need to get you on the schedule because we keep our schedules, try to keep it in order when we talk to someone we know how long we have.
Yep.
So so I always feel bad when I get on the phone. I think it's gonna be someone's calling me or get in between calls and they go, oh, and this is more of a 20-minute conversation. And I gotta call you back. I got a scheduled call. So I always try to do it in advance, but always, if it's an emergency, call the office or text the office, say, emergency, I need this right now. So just we're not what's the word? Mind readers.
Well, we're not
But we
those for
kind of
sure.
let us know. And if Adam or Julia is picking up the phone, let them know like this is an emergency. Like I'm waiting. I need this now. Just so if we're on the phone or we have a call in front of you that we know could wait, we'll jump on that for you. So, but that's it for today. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.